Well, moving on now, Tuesdays here on the program, we talked about, or I should say Tuesday on the program, we talked about Columbus native Andrew Jackson Higgins. August 28th was his birthday.
Higgins' story and the story of the Higgins Boat will also be featured at an event coming up in Friend. So joining us now, we have Mary Ann Losh with the Friend Historical Society and retired Major General Roger Lemke. Thank you both for coming in.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Yeah, you bet.
We're going to start with you, Mary Ann, and tell us more about the event.
Well, we'd like to invite all of your viewers to come to Friend on Sunday, September 8th, and we'll be having a special program that's sponsored by the Historical Society and the American Legion Post 183. And the events include a patriotic music from the Firehouse Band 5+1 from the Seward area, and then also the Friend Public School students have made posters telling the story of the Higgins Boat.
Okay.
And there'll be popcorn snacks and lots of fun things too. And then Roger will talk about the Higgins Boats.
Where is this going on again?
It's at 511 2nd Street in the San Carlo Room.
What time?
The music's going to start around 1:30, and then at 2 o'clock Roger will present.
So
Okay.
an afternoon event there on September 8th.
September 8th. So
That's the
put
day
that-
after the Colorado game. We can remember
Yes,
that.
that's right on the calendar.
That's right.
Roger, we want to ask you, what are you going to be doing there at the event, and maybe what are you going to be talking about?
Well, I'll be talking about Andrew Higgins, if you will, of course. And the piece of it I've always admired about him were two aspects. One was he was not an outstanding high school student. As people know, he grew up somewhat in Columbus and went to high school in Omaha, and he didn't get outstanding grades. He was kind of sometimes wanted to confront the teachers and so forth and so on. Later on, then, of course, he becomes eventually the hero. And there are always two wars being fought. One was the war overseas, but the other one was the war on the bureaucracy. And he had to fight the war on the bureaucracy to actually get his boats built. And that's the thing that fascinates me about him, his career, and what he accomplished.
Yeah, and remind us again who he was, what he did.
So Andrew Higgins grew up was moved and grew up in Columbus and in Omaha. He went on to become working with shallow water boats, working in the forest and moving lumber in Louisiana. And it was there that he developed what he called the Eureka boat. And that boat became the landing craft that was used, especially during the Normandy invasion. And as Eisenhower commented many years later, they could not have fought the war and won the war the way they did without Andrew Higgins and his boats.
So definitely became a hero, yeah.
Well, and the interesting about that, it wasn't right away. The Navy tended to subdue his name for many years, and it was later when Stephen Ambrose was interviewing Eisenhower in the early 60s when Higgins' name finally emerged and his heroics finally came to light.
And so you'll be talking more about that.
Correct. That's what we'll be covering at the session in Friend on the 8th, yes.
That should be a great event, September 8th in Friend at the San Carlo Room.
Right.
And again, the address there again is?
511 2nd Street.
Okay.
And
so
it will be an interesting afternoon.
that'll be a lot of fun.
2 o'clock. Well, Roger, you do a nice job making it easy to understand.
Yeah, yes.
Well, thank you very much.
So
I
I'm sure-
appreciate it. Hope that people like it.
Oh,
They
sounds
will.
good.
They will. Thank you both.
Okay.
Thank